Shri Shri Ras Viharini Ju Ki Jai Ho. Shri Hari Raji Bade Shiksha Patr, day number 17. Reading letter 4, verse 13 to 16. Aaj ke Anand Ki Jai Ho, Sab Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna. Verse 13. Although Shri Krishna is fearless, yet he fears. He is desireless, yet he desires. He is clever, yet naive, omniscient, and yet unknowing. Tika 13. The Lord is fearless, for he is the controller of time. Millions of universes can be created or destroyed by the mere movement of his eyebrows. The demigods fear him who is fearless, and yet he fears. When Sri Thakurji ate dirt, his mother Yashodaji threatened him with a stick to tell her why he had done so. His eyes filled with tears through fear, and he said, "No, mummy, I didn't eat dirt." In this way he is fearful, in case his devotees are ever displeased with him and thus ignore him. And he desires nothing. His home is the entire universe, the goddess of fortune his wife. He wears the Kaustubha jewel on his chest and has many other supernatural possessions. The creative force is his maidservant, so what could he need? However, he likes to steal things from devotees and demands butter, toys, and other things from Shri Yashodaji and the gopis. The Lord is the cleverest of the clever. In any universe, if anyone behaves beyond the lawful limits, he punishes them, and he also knows the moment-to-moment actions and heartfelt sentiments of everyone. Yet, for the devotee, he is a very innocent child and eats whatever they offer him. He knows nothing yet everything. He is all-pervading and the substratum of all existence. Nothing in the three worlds is far from him, yet before the devotee, he appears to know nothing. He loses when playing games and cries because he can't get the moon as a plaything. Thus the Lord is the abode of all contradictory qualities. Verse 14. Shri Krishna is totally self-satisfied and yet constantly increases the devotee's love towards him. His desires are fully satisfied and yet he has great desire for them. He is mighty and yet speaks humbly. Tika 14. The Lord is fully self-satisfied and internally focused, yet he eternally plays with the gopis and increases ever new love in them. He has all his desires fulfilled and is known as Manmata, which means he disturbs the mind even of Cupid, the disturber of minds. So what desire could he have? Even so, he demands food and drink even when he even a little hungry or thirsty. If a gopi is annoyed and thus ignores him, he becomes so fearful and crazy in his desire for her that he will even assume the form of a female companion to persuade her otherwise. He is the Lord of Lords and therefore not naturally impoverished. The three worlds all bow low to him, so why does he need to be humble and lowly? Even so, he is very submissive to the devotees, telling them that he belongs to them and can love no one else in many humble ways. Thus is described Lord Krishna, the abode of all contradictory qualities. Verse 15. He is effulgent with his own light, but not before his devotees. He manifests externally, but always resides in his devotees' hearts. He is independent, but depends on his devotees. He is supremely powerful, but appears incapable before his devotees. Tika 15. The Lord lights up the three worlds with his effulgence. If anyone becomes puffed up with pride, the Lord immediately intervenes and destroys that pride by substituting it with his own light. He does not display this light before the devotees, but resigns himself to whatever the devotee does or says. Manifesting externally, he endlessly plays many different pastimes with the gopis and also manifests internally in the innermost heart of all created beings. He is always independent in these pastimes. He can create or destroy the universe in a second if he so wishes. Still, he is captivated by his devotees. If the gopis tell him to sit in a certain place, he does so, and never displays his independence to them, only acting according to their wishes. The Lord is all-powerful. He can do, not do, or do otherwise, but he remains powerless before his devotees. The gopis sit him in their lap and take him wherever they want to, and as they desire. Thus is the Lord the abode of all contradictory attributes. Verse 16. In this way, the Krishna revealed in the path of grace is the abode of all contradictory qualities. He is full of grace and generosity and should be constantly held in our hearts with our total surrender to him. Tika 16. This Sri Krishna, replete with divine loving sentiment and the nectar of love, the abode of contradictory qualities and difficult to understand, is the Lord who reigns in this path of grace. He is most merciful to the devotees and the fruit of all devotional effort, so take eternal shelter in him. Your surrender should be with your mind, action and speech, and constantly experienced in your very heart. Then Krishna will become most merciful and bless you with his grace. Repeating verse 16. In this way, the Krishna revealed in his path of grace is the abode of all contradictory qualities. He is full of grace and generosity and should be constantly held in our hearts with our total surrender to him. Tika 16. This Sri Krishna, replete with divine loving sentiment and the nectar of love, the abode of contradictory qualities and difficult to understand, is the Lord who reigns in this path of grace. He is most merciful to the devotees and the fruit of all devotional effort. So, take eternal shelter in him alone. Your surrender should be with your mind, action and speech. And constantly experienced in your own very heart, in your very heart. Then Krishna will become most merciful and bless you with his grace. Sri Vallabhacharyaji has stated in his treatise Navaratna, the 9 Jewels treatise, Lord Krishna is my only refuge in every way and with all my soul. And in his Vivekadari Ashray, wisdom, perseverance and refuge, Vivekadari Ashray, wisdom, perseverance and refuge treatise, he has stated, whether I am incapable or capable, this Sri Krishna, the remover of all sorrows and obstacles, is positively my only refuge. Sri Acharyaji has stated this over and over in his many texts. Therefore you must nurture this feeling of surrender in your heart. Know the 8-syllable prayer of surrender to be the highest mantra and the bestower of every kind of perfection. So recite it at every moment. Sri Gosai teaches in his treatises Navavigyapti. Sri Vallabhacharya has instructed us to recite, Sri Krishna is my only refuge, from which one loses all anxiety about this world and the next. So cherish this most merciful Sri Krishna in your heart and surrender to him with mind, action and speech. This is the fundamental principle of the path of grace. Concluding the reading for today at the end of verse 16, and tomorrow we will continue with letter 4, verse 17. Aaj ke Anand ki jai ho, Salvation ko jai Shri Krishna, Shri Ras Biharini Jo ki jai ho, Shri Vallabhadish ki jai ho.